Welcome to the Melbourne Business Review. This week we introduce Hiti Taluja, Charting Operations Manager at Incitec Pivot Limited, a global diversified industrial chemicals company, and Amanda Helmore, Associate at a global bank, with a review and recommendation of Incitec Pivot's investment and process for reviewing the return on investment in the intangible asset of safety culture. Organization's safety culture resides in the overall culture. The safety culture is the degree of effort members of the organization put into being safe and creating a safe environment, and how they go about doing that on a daily basis. Like other assets, the safety culture, an intangible asset, needs to be deliberately managed.
At IPL, safety is our number one priority. Back in 2012, when we introduced our 5-year strategy to drive zero harm globally across IPL, we set a target to achieve a total recordable injury frequency rate of less than 1 by 2016, and we achieved this. Our other safety indicators in 2016 have been even better. Two particularly important ones: the lost time injury frequency rate and the employee lost day severity rate have decreased by 61% and 70% respectively in the last 12 months. Behind these results is our strategy to deliver zero harm through the 4 Ps: passionate leadership, people, plant, and procedure. Passionate leadership influences employee to determine expected behavior. It gives authority to get commitment of other 3 Ps. People. Personal behavior can promote continuous safety improvement. Plant. Equipment and materials that are designed and maintained for purpose of safety. Procedure is a system which manages work that ensure the integrity of equipment and that people-based contracts are maintained.
IPL generated more than $3 billion in global revenues during 2016 from its 3 divisions of explosives, industrial chemicals, and fertilizers. IPL has a significant asset base, which is comprised predominantly of PP&E, which is 45%, intangibles at 40%, with an estimated investment of approximately $3 million each year alone in the Zero Harm Safety Initiative. What does this mean from an accounting perspective? We consider IPL's investment in its safety culture to minimise safety incidents can result in financial rewards, such as production efficiencies, culture of continuous improvement, albeit these benefits are difficult to measure in dollar terms. More importantly, this investment mitigates financial loss by preventing negative financial impacts of safety incidents. For instance, safety incidents can cause an increase in provisions for legal proceedings, fines, all of which reduce shareholder equity and impacts future net income. Incidents can also cause damage to inventory, PP&E, leading to write-down of carrying values of assets on the balance sheet, with impairment expenses to the income statement, in turn reducing net income. Safety incidents can also lead to increased expenses such as administration and loss of revenue due to production stoppage as a result of an incident. In turn, any of the above impacts of safety incidents contribute to erosion in shareholder wealth. And importantly, the financial cost of neglecting safety cannot be underestimated. This is proven by some recent examples of significant safety incidents that impacted the financial results of companies similar to IPL. In 2016, an explosion at Orica's explosive manufacturing plant in Chile caused 2 fatalities. This led to a $21 million financial impact to Orica's 2016 bottom line. In 2012, Orica had a cancer-causing chemical leak at their ammonia plant in New South Wales that resulted in $770,000 worth of fines imposed. This led to lost earnings of $90 million due to lost production as the plant was closed for 6 months. Similarly, Orica faced court over breaching environmental protection laws, and the incident was the subject of regulatory bodies' health and safety risk assessments and 2 government inquiries. These examples highlight the value of a safety culture within organisations that operate in high-risk industries to prevent negative impacts on future financial performance. Moving on now to measuring safety performance. How does IPL measure its safety performance? IPL currently reports on its historical safety performance in terms of industry standard measures of recordable injury and severity rates. As shown, the 2 measures are total recordable injury frequency rate, or TRIFR, and employee lost day severity rate. What do they mean? The total recordable injury frequency rate is the number of fatalities, lost time injuries, cases or substitute work and other injuries requiring medical treatment per million hours worked. The employee lost day severity rate, in contrast, measures the employee lost work days per 200,000 hours worked and measures the severity of workplace incidents. As the higher the results, the higher the impact of the incident. In terms of correlation between investment and reduction in costly safety incidents, we can see that the safety investment is really starting to pay off for IPL when comparing the same TRIFR metric across 2 of its competitors. Overall, I'm satisfied that IPL's recorded reduction in safety incidents over the past 5 years is a direct result of the company's investment in its safety culture. Moreover, this leads to prevention of financial impacts caused by safety incidents, which more than offsets the input cost of $3 million per annum.
And now we will hear from Culture and Safety Consultant Hisham Mir from GSI.
Although it is important to measure the financial implications of safety culture, this is by no means a comprehensive assessment of this intangible asset. This is because defining culture is quite complex and is based on people's values, beliefs, assumptions, and perceptions. And of course, this varies across companies and industries, which makes benchmarking also challenging. So since safety culture is difficult to define, it in turn is difficult to attribute any benefits gained from this intangible asset. Now that being said, IPL is measuring key aspects of safety culture that reflect their focus on the 4 Ps. First, for passionate leadership, the executive team is measured on commitment to safety culture as a strategic imperative. Second, for people, the Safety Act observation and psychologist assessments measure an employee's personal behavior and commitment to improve safety. Third, for the plant, the assessment, safety audit, and the hypo analysis measure the effectiveness of equipment and materials invested in for worker safety. And finally, for procedures, the procedure safety audit and Nexus log system measure the manner in which standard operating procedures are followed. So we've heard about IPL's definition of safety culture, and we received an overview of how this asset is evaluated and the validity of this process. Now moving on to our recommendations. Overall, we feel IPL is tracking well at measuring their investments in safety culture and would recommend continuing their established strategy with one addition. First, we recommend continuing to measure the financial investments made into new safety PP&E. This would be done by tracking capital expenditure for new safety equipment and personal protective wear. Second, we recommend continuing to measure the financial investments made into personnel time. This would include tracking employee wages spent on safety training, meetings, and inspections, as well as wages spent on medical personnel implementing clinical care on employees. Third, We recommend continuing to measure the systems, tools, and processes established to promote safety. Employee surveys and focus groups provide insight on how employees respond to the processes they are instructed to use, as well as reasons for why shortcuts are being taken. And lastly, as a new metric, we recommend measuring direct observations of safety in the workplace by management. By collecting a list of behaviors and physical evidence, this will provide insight to the executive team on how they are truly passionately leading. In regards to the appropriate time frame for making an ROI evaluation, we feel 1 year would allow investments into safety to appropriately mature and provide benefits to all stakeholders involved.
Thank you for joining us today at Melbourne Business Review. Please join us next time as we delve into the worlds of marketing and data analysis.